knowing damn well he could knock on the door at any minute and be like, what's going on? Like, I'm sorry, but nothing about that gets me turned on. I know you moms probably understand, like, when your kids are awake and your man's wanting to have sex, like, for me specifically, the only thing that I'm thinking about is when is the kid going to knock on the door? That's not sexy.
Girl, stop talking. All the shit that people are thinking but not saying. I'm not even like drunk. I've just been like drinking. Does my podcast offend you? Men, if you're listening, I apologize in advance. Women, hey bitches, are you ready? Are you still talking? Girl, stop talking.
Hey, it's fucking Monday. Trying to get pumped up right now for this episode. Sorry, I'm yelling and I might be talking fast because I had a freaking Celsius. Have you guys ever had one of those energy drinks? It's like crack in a fucking can. It's crazy. I realize it's Monday and I'm late. A bitch is busy. I don't really know what else to say, to be honest. I am recording this episode in my kitchen. I'm still working out some minor podcast studio details at the moment. For right now, the lighting is best in here. The camera quality is clear, and I know that will be better for YouTube purposes. So, before we get into today's episode, I wanted to thank every single one of you who followed my new Instagram. I made an Instagram for the podcast. It's Girl Stop Talking Podcast. Whoever has Girl Stop Talking as the account on Instagram with no content, no followers, not following anyone, I really feel like it's someone that's listening and wants me to pay them for that. Well, joke's on you. I have my own now. So please go follow the new Instagram for the podcast if you haven't already. That Instagram is going to be like only podcast stuff. I realize like on my personal account, my insights and people engaging in the content kind of goes down when I post about the podcast stuff. So annoying. But anyways, I'll still probably cross-reference those pages together. However, there will be full content for the podcast on the Girl Stop Talking Podcast Instagram. So if you haven't already, please go follow that. I will really appreciate it. Anyone who supports me, I'm so grateful. I'm just a little podcast girl trying to live on a dream, baby. The YouTube is up, Girl Stop Talking on YouTube. You can find me. I have 2 videos up there right now. Thank you, all 28 of you that have subscribed. I appreciate it. If you don't watch YouTube, if you would just go subscribe, that would be great. It would be really cool to just continue to get a reach and a following. If not, whatever, you're still here. I am looking at the analytics and there's about, on average, like 100 people listen every week. So I know you're watching. Time to go support. Yes, I'm calling you out. Thank you. Okay. Today, I wanted to get back into sex a little bit. I feel like it's been, a couple of weeks since I've like posted anything sexy. And let's be real, I really know that's why you guys are here. I'm going to continue with the life updates. Maybe I'll save them for an intro, like how I did this week. Maybe they'll end up being a full episode. Who knows? Regardless, all of this content literally comes from my day-to-day life. It's just how I'm trying to get a flow of the podcast and present it to you guys. So TSA, baby. Haven't done one of these in a while. And, I wanted to get into, if you're new here, first of all, TSA is a Tatum service announcement. Usually it's my 5-minute rant on talking shit about men. Because let's be honest, they are dumb. Not all of them, but guys, it's a comedy podcast. You came here for a reason. Okay, TSA today. men not caring about fucking when the kids are awake. Like, I'm sorry, but I cannot have my full attention and like my pussy does not get wet when my son is in the other room awake, knowing damn well I have to do a multitude of things. Not only do I have to like have sex, okay, but I have to stay out of my head. I have to be quiet. I have to be quick. It's not like orgasms don't happen that fast all the time. I mean, I like to think we got it down. Like for the most part, we can go pretty quick. But again, it kind of just depends on the day, the mood, the setting. But I'm not going to freaking sit here and be thinking about having an orgasm when I know my son is watching TV in the other room, knowing damn well he could knock on the door at any minute and be like, what's going on? Like, I'm sorry, but nothing about that gets me turned on. I know you moms probably understand, like, when your kids are awake and your man's wanting to have sex, like, for me specifically, the only thing that I'm thinking about is when is the kid going to knock on the door? That's not sexy. I don't want to think about my kid while I'm fucking my boyfriend. Like, it seems weird, okay? So, I cannot. Let me tell you a story. We were in Mexico a couple weeks back, and we wanted to get it in. Okay. We had limited time and availability to do so. So you try to like sneak around, you try to be quiet. Everybody knows it's going to be a quickie, right? And this is what I'm talking about. It's like anytime, there's been 2 times, anytime I have tried to have a quickie, it's like, it's just coming too close to home. No pun intended. We're in Mexico. We're trying to have sex in the room while my son is in the other room, completely mesmerized by electronics. Okay. Like, you know, once they get that switch or that TV in their hands, they're just like bleh, fucking drooling outside of their mouth. So I'm like, you know what? We can do a quickie really quick. I don't want to be here. I don't want to do it, but like, I'm going to do it for you. Like, you know, sacrifices. We all make sacrifices in our relationships. This was for my man, knowing goddamn well what was gonna happen, okay? So we're like having sex, and I'm just like, you know what? I'm gonna get on top. I'm gonna get mine. I'm gonna get in there, get mine, and go. Like, peace out, homie. So I'm trying to like get the job done. And then, you know, next thing you know, what are you guys doing? Oh my God. Literally the worst. We're just getting dressed. Just a minute. Hop off the dick, put a freaking robe on, get in the shower, you know, and there's no more questions asked, which is great. But it's like, still, it's like, I knew this was going to happen. And, you know, that's the only thing I was thinking about. Did I come? No. Did he come? No. Is he going to have blue balls? Probably. So I'm sorry. Why'd we get here? I don't know. I'm not even sure. You did this. And now I have to explain what the freaking, like, was? No. I have to make up some excuse. Oh, we were wrestling. No. Like, come on. What the hell? I just can't. I can't do it. So that's my TSA today. Fucking men. Not giving a fuck about fucking when kids are awake. I cannot with you and will not be doing that any longer. Whew, you know, we don't do edits in this show, so give me a second. I'm going to drink more of my energy drink. Okay, you know what? Speaking of sex, I wanted to kind of touch down on some things that I've noticed just in brief conversations. Me specifically, I mean, I talk about sex all the time. Like if you're my friend, you know, like that's probably the main conversation I'm having like topics about, or like that's just who I am as a person, like sexual innuendos, inappropriate humor, behavior, like that's just me. All of my friends know this. So when speaking to like some of my friends or some of my clients at work, I really am starting to realize that like there's like this whole thing around sex where people just think you're supposed to, like, it's just for coming. which like, okay, I get it. Like we all want to come, especially for women. It's, you got to start that motor. You got to let her warm up. Like we can't just hit it and quit it. I get that. But that's not what it's all about. Like I've always said like having sex with my boyfriend is like an experience. It's not even like just having sex. It's a full blown experience. People always get like weird or like freak out when I say that like we have sex for like on average like an hour. And then we have like these sexcapades where they're like 4 hours. And people are like, what? 4 hours? Like, how do you do that? And it's like, okay, we're not like sitting here like jackhammering each other, like fucking bouncing on the dick for 4 hours. Like, but like I said, it's an experience. So I really wanted to like bring that experience and show up for you guys and give you some ways that you can spice up your sex. So do you feel like you guys are like stuck in a rut? You have the same positions. You're always fucking in the bedroom, you know, waiting until the kids are asleep. I understand that. Or they're gone or with their friends, you know, and it's just kind of stale. Or maybe you're only having sex like once or twice a week, or your partner is like, you try to dress up for them or do something for them and like engage in a different way and they kind of turn you away. Well, the biggest thing for spicing up your sex, number one, communication. You have to communicate about your sex life. This isn't something that you want to be doing in the bedroom. We're not talking about sex while we're fucking. Like, you can't be like, you never do this to me. Like, why don't you ever do this? Ugh, it's so boring, whatever. You can't do that. Like, it's going to cause defense. It's going to cause an argument. And that's not how we want to go about it. So the first step to spicing up your sex life, you want to have an open communication. Like, outside of the bedroom, when you guys are just chilling, there's nothing else going on. Everybody's relaxed, in a good mood. And you really want to start by like asking questions, like really be like inquisitive of the other person and the conversation that you're wanting to have, you know, like, when's the last time we tried something new? Like asking your partner, like, is there something that you want me to do in the bedroom that I haven't done? You know, make it about the things you want and then ask them questions about them specifically also. And in like a light and curious mood, conversation, and tone. This is going to be the first step to spicing up your sex life. If you feel like a little uncomfortable or you don't know what to say, there's a great list online. You can literally just look it up. It's called the Yes, No, Maybe list. Another podcaster that I listen to, she's amazing. Her podcast is Sex with Emily. She's a doctor and she's literally been doing this for like 10, 15 years. Amazing podcast. If you're interested in looking for a new sex positive, like professional, I would definitely look at her. Her website is sexwithemily.com. You can literally grab the Yes, No, Maybe list, print 2 pages out. And then when you're sitting on the couch in the middle of the week with your glass of wine, hanging out with your significant other, or maybe once the kids have gone to bed and you guys are just doing your like nightly routine, you know, it could be like a little fun play idea. Print 2 pages, give 1 page to your partner, you keep 1 page, and then be like, okay, I've really been wanting to spice up our sex life. I feel like we've kind of gotten into this same groove and I want to do something new. And I heard on this podcast that, you know, here's the way to open up the conversation without feeling weird. So you fill this out. I'm going to fill mine out. And then you literally go down the list and have a conversation. So it's going to be like all things from like spanking to pegging. Okay. And when you go down this list, it's like, do you want to do these things? Are you interested in these things? Yes, no, or maybe. And then you literally sit down with your partner, present your papers together, and you can start the conversation around sex. What are you interested in doing? Like, do you want to be dominated? Are you interested? Is he interested? And you didn't even know that because you haven't had a conversation about it. Well, guess what? Then you go into like another topic of like, okay, well, what does that mean for you? Like being dominated? Like, what would you like how can I contribute to, you know, this fantasy of yours? It's really going to be amazing just to be able to feel comfortable having the conversation, because at first it's going to feel weird, but it's just like anything else. Like if you're not used to talking about sex, it's going to feel weird. But when you continue to talk more and more about it, then it's going to be normalized. And that's what we're trying to do here. People trying to normalize the conversation around sex. So super good tips: communicate, open the conversation. I mean, I can't imagine if you're with someone that really loves you and wants to be with you, why wouldn't you be able or be open to having a conversation to broaden your sex life, to make sex better, to come harder? Like, why? It makes no sense. If they say no, time to wash your hands clean, girl. I know it's cuffing season, but summer ain't over yet, okay? The next thing to spice it up, number 2, set the mood. Okay. Like if you're just like having sex like before bed because it's like this chore where it's like, oh, well, we're supposed to do it. People say we're supposed to do it. So here we are just doing the deed, bap, 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 getting it done. It's like, ew, how boring. Like, are you really satisfied by that? I don't know. I wouldn't be. So setting the mood is like having different elements to like switch it up, you know? So if you're having sex in your room, why don't you can do other things like getting, you know, a better pair of sheets. Even if you're going to make it messy, that's okay. Put a fucking towel down. Or maybe you get some candles. We have these LED candles that are like real wax candles, that have changing colors for different moods. You can literally buy them on Amazon, and we can set those around the room, dim the lights, turn the candles on, and then it's like the mood is set. That's perfect. It's different than just, oh, we're fucking in the dark or we have the bathroom light on. Like you're adding something, another like dynamic to like change the setting of just your boring bedroom. Another thing me and my boyfriend do, we have this rule where we made a rule where we don't fuck without music or porn. So we're not having quiet sex. I mean, there's always dirty talking. There's always like sounds and of like having sex when you're in the moment. But a part of setting the mood, changing the scenery is, and a big part of it is music. You know, if I personally am like, porn doesn't really do a whole lot for me. I end up just like sitting there and like critiquing it the whole time because it just seems so fake. But we've like made a point to be like, we need, you know, certain elements to like make the best out of our sex life. Those are lighting and sound. So putting on some like, we'd usually do some like house music, deep house, something with a beat, but not too many words. Sometimes I like to get a little frisky and put some slow rap on. And then it completely changes the way you have sex. Cause if the music is on, sometimes you go to the beat. Other times you're feeling like a little ratchet and you want to be like twerking on the dick. So with those are just like literally 2 things: communicate, set the mood. You know, there are other ways you can do that. You can add in okay, let's go. Number 3, add in something new. Have you tried being handcuffed? Have you tried like playing with wax or candle wax? Like there are some great candles that I've seen on Amazon where it's like a candle, but then it's massage oil. So you light the candle while you're like warming things up. You're going down on him, going down on her, getting the foreplay in, blow the candle out. And then you could literally start with a body massage, like rubbing their shoulders, their back, you know, like slowly working down their body. Candles are great. Super cheap on Amazon. I think they're like $13. Toys. What toys haven't you tried? What's something you wanted to experience? Maybe it's not something as crazy as like a dildo right off the bat or like a butt plug right off the bat, but maybe it's a cock ring. Maybe it's a, like what do they call? A flogger, like those little things that you can use to like spank people, you know? Maybe it's the candle, maybe it's a vibrator. You can start bringing some of those things to switch it up, you know, like spice it up. We're trying new things. You want to expand your sexual connection, your fantasy, and you can do all of these things even if you only have 30 minutes. You only have 30 minutes before bed. You want to warm up in a different way. Grab a vibrator. Ask him, be like, I want you to use this on me. You know, adding these elements is seriously it's going to get you out of your comfort zone, out of your box, and you're going to have more better sexual experiences so that your relationship isn't staying stagnant. Fuck in a different room. Change the setting completely. Like, I get it. If you have kids, things might get a little difficult, or there might be, you know, like the fear of like, well, what if they wake up in the middle of the night or something? You know, it's like, obviously you don't want to put yourself in that position. I get it. But if you have the opportunity to have sex outside of the bedroom, do that. Like, it had been so long since we've had sex outside of the bedroom just because kids, you know, his kids are older, mine's younger. They're fucking everywhere. They're not fucking everywhere, literally, but they are everywhere, you know? And this past weekend, we had sex everywhere but the bedroom. It was great. And there was a moment where I was like, I have to go to the bathroom. He followed me in the bedroom and he like almost went back to the bed. I was like, no. We're not doing that. We're not having sex in the bedroom this weekend. We're having sex everywhere else except for the bedroom. You know what? He's like, I want to fuck in the gym because there's like mirrors all over the gym. And in my mind, I'm like, where are we going to fuck? Like on that one like bench? I don't know. It doesn't really sound like an ideal place to have sex other than the mirrors. So he's like, we should try something different. And I'm like, okay, fine. I'm down. He's like, well, why don't we like, you put in your music in your headphones and I'll put in my music in my headphones and then we'll like go have sex in the gym. So that's what we did. I put on like slow sensual rap in one ear and then he put on, I don't even know what, if his headphones in the other ear. And we went and had sex in the gym in front of the mirrors. I don't think it worked out as good as we thought it was going to. Like, we thought it was gonna be like, oh my God, this is so cool. It's gonna be like a silent disco, you know, like a silent sex disco where we're like listening to music and we're fucking. And like the first part of it was, I was like, damn, this was a good idea. I like sat him down. I like sat on top of him. We were looking at the mirror. I was fucking him in the mirror. And I was like, oh, this is hot. And I was listening to like Or Nah by The Weeknd. You know, I was like, damn, I'm getting into it. My body's rolling. My ass looks fat. I'm like, okay. And then he like takes out his headphones and I'm like, he's like, I can't even hear you. Like this isn't what I expected. Like, I want to be able to hear you. Like, you look sexy, but all I hear is music and like, it's just not working for me. So then I'm like, okay, well, why don't we like take one headphone out each so we can like still have like the silent disco effect where like we're both still listening to music, but we can still hear each other. And then my music kind of like got off and I was like, this is not working for me. And then he was like all into it. And I'm like, can we just like go back in the house? Like, I want to pour another drink. It's like not a thing. So, you know, it's like we're trying to think outside of our box and like other ways that we can make this more fun for each other. And it doesn't always work out, you know, but like, that's the brilliant thing about sex is it's like, it's random. I mean, it's not random unless you're like fucking randoms, but you never know what's going to happen if you're trying new things. Hopefully you're with a partner that you trust and you can just like laugh it off and like no big deal. I mean, that's the best part, right? Is having that connection to where you can like really try to understand the person a little more and expand those scenarios with that person to make the sex better, to keep it fun, to keep it entertaining. I mean, if you're sitting here and you're like thinking to yourself, like, what the fuck? Like, you guys are crazy. And, you know, you have sex for all this time. Like, how do you do that? And like, we have sex once a week and like, just to get it done, like now is your time. Okay. Start communicating. Like, stop making excuses for not communicating your needs and your priorities as a person. Why would you do that? They love you. They want to be with you. Why wouldn't they want to have better sex? So that's it. for today's episode. A little more serious, maybe not as funny. We'll see. They can't always be bangers, guys, but it felt like it was on my heart to really give you guys a couple of steps to, expand your sex life with your partner. So I hope you took something from this episode. Again, please follow me on Instagram, Girl Stop Talking Podcast, on YouTube, Girl Stop Talking. Videos will be posted up there. Audio will be posted on Mondays. I'm a little behind today, but I'm doing my best with the time that I have. I appreciate all of you guys who listen, and please, please, please subscribe to the Girl Stop Talking podcast anywhere you listen to podcasts. Share, tell a friend. If you share it on Instagram or on socials, please tag me. If you like this episode, you can DM me. You can comment on the Instagram. I always, always respond to comments from the support from you guys when it comes to the podcast. So I hope you're having a great week, and I'll be back next week. We're talking about anal. Updated anal episode next Monday. Okay. Get in where you fit in. No pun intended. Okay. Wow, I'm so lame.
Are you still talking? Girl, stop talking.